I've helped over 30 coaches build, refine, and scale their offers, but I keep seeing the same problems coming up over and over again. On the whiteboard behind me right now are the 49 most common problems that I've encountered that stop coaches below 10K a month being able to bust through to those 15, 20, and 30K a month. And I'm going to go through in this video why it's a problem and exactly how you can fix it. So if you're watching this right now and you're unsure why your coaching business is not able to bust through that plateau, then this is going to be the complete guide to finding A, what problems you're dealing with, but more importantly, exactly how you can fix them. So grab a notepad and pen out. If you can make it through to the end of this video, you're going to get the source you need to be able to scale your coaching business to the business that you want and love. And I've split this into 7 sections, and these are the 7 sections that are fundamental and key, and I teach in my program to be able to scale your offer. And it starts with mindset. It always starts with mindset because it firstly starts with abundance versus scarcity. The problem number 1 that I see coaches struggling with is they are desperate for results. They are desperate to get money through the door. And we need to be thinking in an abundance mindset. We need to be thinking there is opportunities everywhere. There is problems for me to solve everywhere. There are clients everywhere. And when you think in a scarcity mindset, you get something called commission breath. And commission breath is when people can tell on the other end of calls that you just want to make money from them. If we think in abundance mindset as a coach, then you are going to turn up to sales calls in a very chill, calm state. You're going to make decisions which optimize for future revenue, not quick cash. And that is exactly why we need to get into an abundance mindset. So that's the first problem that I see coaches making, and a really key mindset change. The second is that sales is wrong. The amount of people that come to me and say, I'm a coach, but I feel that selling to people is wrong. I don't want to be too salesy. That is a classic phrase. Well, the thing is, I believe it is morally important for me to be salesy because I believe in my solution, and you should too. If you are coaching people on how to lose weight, you should fundamentally believe that if someone has a problem with weight, you are the solution to that problem, and therefore they should buy from you. You should sell to them in order to help them with their problem. And this comes from a fear of money. It comes from a fear, an idea that money is evil and money is wrong. Money is a source of value. And this is a big mindset that you need to go through if you are fearing that salesy, or if you feel like you often say, don't want to come across too salesy. So that's the other mindset. Third is failure. The biggest thing that I get when people are starting content or trying new offers is they are just scared of failing. Coaches that do well are ones that try different tactics, they try different offers, they're willing to do rep after rep after rep without success because of the fact that they've accepted failure. And the ones that accept failure, they learn quicker and therefore they make more progress. I love failing because it makes me learn and get better as a person. Okay, keep going through the mindsets and then we'll get onto the super tangible like offer building, content, sales stuff. But graft versus manifesting. The amount of people who I speak to who are like, I'm manifesting my future, I'm manifesting making 10K a month. And the difference in this mindset is, yes, I'm all for positive thinking and positive affirmations, but you can't substitute any of that with just getting down and doing the goddamn work. And it is good to have positive mental attitudes, but there is nothing that beats just doing the thing. And the mindset that I see a lot of coaches is they think about positive thinking, but they don't actually go and do the work. So right now, if this is applying to you, then just think like, are you doing the work that it requires to build this offer, or are you trying to manifest it? Because a combination of both is definitely doable, but just manifesting and not goddamn grafting is so important, is better. So long-term reward, problem number 5. A lot of coaches, you might be thinking, okay, well, I want to make cash for my holiday next month, or I want to make cash so I can say I've got 10K a month. And we want to think about long-term rewards. How can you do activities and do things that are going to provide you a business for the 5, the 10 years, not the next month where you can just post on your story or tell your mum that you've made 10K. So we want to think in a long-term way because that allows us to make business sensible decisions and not decisions that may affect reputation or decisions that may bring quick cash flows and not long-term sustainable profits. Focus. This is so important. Have you ever had that moment where you're like, okay, maybe I could launch this new offer, or maybe I could, start this side business, or maybe I could keep my agency going while I'm doing coaching. The problem that I see so many coaches having is that they don't dedicate their time in a specific way. They actually just like, they're all over the place. And we want to just be incredibly focused. One of my students came to me and he said, he's got one offer for this, he's got one offer for this, he's got his side business for this, he's helping his parents out here. You just need to be incredibly focused on one target. And if you do that, you can make 100K a month. There's no reason you can't make 100K a month. But if you try and make 10K a month here and there, you're gonna struggle a lot more. So be focused. And then the seventh mistake that I see people making is not being value first. We want to, in everything we do, just provide as much value to as many people as possible. If we do that, if we provide great value to people, the money will come rolling in, the revenue will come rolling in, the clients will come rolling in. Value, solve problems. Okay, that brings me nicely on to number 2, which is offer. So building our offer, even if you've built your offer and you're a current established coach, there is a lot of work you can be doing on actually making your offer better. The first is that it needs to be problem focused. People only pay money for things when they have problems. People don't pay money for things just for the sake of it. They want their problems solved. And that is why we need to be incredibly problem focused. What problem are you solving for your avatar? If you're not incredibly clear what that problem is that you're solving, then you need to work on your offer. And that comes on to outcome number 2, or problem number 9, is that I speak to a lot of people who say they work with this sort of person, but what is the outcome that you're giving them? Because a lot of coaches, I find, they're not clear on what the outcome is, and people only want one of 3 things. They want better health, better relationships, or better wealth. So if your program, if your coaching offer is not linked directly to one of those outcomes, you need to be more specific. Because I was working with someone and he was a coach on ads, and I said, he was like, I'm gonna get you better ROAS. And I was like, okay, but what do you mean by better ROAS? And he was like, so they then get more clients. And it's like, okay, so what do you mean more clients? And we got to the end of the day that it's, you make them more money, right? That's the reason that you coach people on ads. And that's what we want to be clear on, is people don't buy the ticket, they buy the holiday. So we're not selling people the ticket, we're not selling people the ROAS, we're not selling people the ads, we're not selling people the fact they have to go to the gym. We're selling people the idea they're gonna lose weight, they're gonna make more money, they're gonna have better relationships. That is what we're selling. Okay, problem number 11, your price is too low. I say this is almost a joke in my community and the offer that I have, which is everyone says, Sol, you're always telling me to increase my prices. And that is because price is only a function of your value. And if you don't believe you've got high enough value, then what will happen is you charge a low price. How the hell are you gonna make a business if you're charging $70 an hour for your program? It just doesn't work. So we need to charge higher prices because we believe that our program is unique. You believe your program is unique, and it is able to get the results that you say. So low prices are awful, especially as well, I'll add one more thing, is my clients who have paid me the most money, they work the hardest, they get the best results because of the fact that they feel committed. We want to charge a lot of money because A, we're worth it, but B, it gets amazing results because people feel the pinch, they feel the pain in getting involved. It's a phenomenon in this coaching world that higher prices causes better results, which then in turn causes you to get more clients because you get better results. ICP focus, problem number 12. You right now should be able to tell me exactly the name, the time that your ICP goes to the toilet, what they have for breakfast, what they do on a Monday evening at 7 p.m. And you should be able to tell me all of those things. If you don't, then you don't have a good enough idea for your ICP is. Because if you don't have a good ICP focus, the content you make, the ads you make, the offer you make is going to be all over the place. So being focused on what they look like and what they are and who they are as a person, what they do, is going to help you to build an incredible offer. And I have a lot of people right now, I know a lot of people in my coaching program, as well as people who I speak to, who need to narrow down their ICP more because the riches are in the niches. Okay, ICP focus, 13, one offer. This goes back to almost the focus point, which I said here, which is at the start, when you're trying to take your coaching business plus the 10K a month mark, you just need one offer. Because right now, one offer is going to be able to make you 50K. Genuinely off one offer. We can talk about making more offers later on, but right now one offer is perfect. You only need one offer. And if you do anything else, you're going to lose focus on it. Okay, social proof. If you don't have the proof that you can say what you're charging people for, then bad news is you don't have a business. You're not legit, because we are charging for an outcome. We're charging for an outcome, and you need social proof, firstly, it to exist, And secondly, to have it everywhere to show people that you can do what you say you can. So one of the biggest problems that I see people having is that they don't have any proof anywhere, which is how the hell is someone going to buy from you if they don't believe that you, the PT, you, the ads guy, you, the nutritionist, actually can do what you say you can. So you need social proof. And if you don't have it, you need to work for people for free or for very cheap in order to gain that social proof. And I have an amazing amount of testimonials. We have incredible testimonials in the market right now. My social proof is incredible because of the fact that I've focused on getting amazing results. Okay, and if you want to be part of those amazing results, you can always find me in the description. You can book a call and maybe we can have a chat about how we can implement all of these into your business and solve those coaching problems for you. Find that link in the description. Quick plug over. Client hunting, number 3. Okay, firstly, the biggest problem that I see when people go and client hunt is they just don't want to be human. They don't act like a goddamn human being. They don't speak to people like they're actually a human. And the biggest thing that like I don't want to use the word salesy, but they start getting all like proper and businessy. The reason I've been able to scale to 6 figures so quickly is because I'm just a human being. Like I genuinely just speak to people like I would if I was trying to help them in normal life. And that means that people like working with me, right? All my clients, like they're friends of mine, right? And I love that part, like being a human being with the people you're working with. 16, don't give an opportunity to hand raise. When I say hand raise, I mean, we collect all this free will by giving out good value, speaking to our ICP. And then I see people not giving the ability for their for their prospects, for the people in their audience to hand raise. So if you're not giving the ability for someone to actually buy from you, how the hell are they going to buy from you? So when I mean hand raising tangibly, I mean putting up good Instagram stories. I mean making sure that you give the opportunity for people to book a call in your diary, just as I did there. I'm giving you the opportunity to do it because if you like me and you like this video and you think I'm a good human, then come have a chat about working with me. But you've got to give people the opportunity to do that. And you've got to keep plugging that if someone is enjoying your value, then maybe it's time that they have a chat about working with you. So hand raising, super important. Okay, hangout spots. Another thing that people get wrong is they go looking in the wrong places for clients. I was speaking to someone who works with busy professionals and he was saying, oh yeah, I go and, he helps them get better in their career. And he was like, yeah, I only do Instagram. And I was like, well, do you think that busy professionals who are thinking about their career hang out on Instagram? Instagram's for people who are scrolling and looking for like inspiration and life advice, not people who are thinking about their career as much. Hangout spots. He was looking in the wrong place. The place he should have been looking was in LinkedIn, and that's where he should have been posting and client hunting. So hangout spots. Don't get your ICP's hangout spots wrong. 18. You don't have the scripts for actually going and client hunting. We've created unbelievable scripts that we give to all our students, which allow them to go and speak to clients and speak with authority and direction, but also to provide value to them in order for them to turn a conversation into a sales call. And if you don't have these scripts and you're just chatting to someone, just chatting to them, asking how their breakfast was, asking how their day was, then you're gonna really struggle to actually turn someone into a paid client. So you need to have the scripts, the mechanisms in order to turn a nice conversation into a sales call. A lot of people can have conversations, but they don't get the sales part right. Okay, low friction. I make sure that when I go and hunt for my clients, I keep it as low friction as possible for them to be able to come and on board with me. And right now, you're keeping your client hunting incredibly high friction by having long conversations with them, making sure they have to book into a call, and then also just providing it, like making it hard to scale that as a process. Whereas what you want to do is you want to just say to someone, okay, like, are you free at 2 p.m. tomorrow? And they go, no, but I'm free at 5 p.m. Book in a call, great. Take their email, book in a call, done, straight in. So that's like the low friction. Too many coaches that I speak to, like it's such a complicated process to actually get into their goddamn funnel. So that's one thing that I start. Sorry, the barley farmers have started going for the fields. So excuse that. Long-termism with clients. One of the belief breakers that I've seen recently is that you can talk to someone and 2 months later, they will become a client. But that conversation you had 2 months before was the game changer, which helped for that. So with long-termism, I always think when I go client hunting that I think, okay, with my long-termism, how can I think about this person becoming a client in maybe tomorrow or maybe in 2-3 months time? So you want to continue conversations. You don't want to have the bust or nothing, the win or bust approach. You want to have the idea that someone could be a client now, but you just want to keep the conversations going. And the second part about that is data collection, because you want to be keeping tabs on every single person you're chatting to, so that when I say to you, okay, why don't we go in and check the clients from or the prospects from last month, you go, oh, I've got these 20 people who are all kind of interested, but it wasn't quite the right time. And then you go and you can find them. But if you don't collect data, you're never going to goddamn find them. Okay. Mindset, offer, client hunting. Thank you very much for taking the time to staying on this video. The value does not stop from here. Content. So I have gained 10.2 followers now on my Instagram, and I've hit 10K on my YouTube, bit of social proof there. But these are the 7 problems that I find that I got over myself as a coach and now have been able to teach back to people and see with my clients. The first is trying to just make content for the sake of it. Content is only one thing, and it is providing value to people by problem solving. So all you need to think about every time you make a bit of content is, what problem am I solving? And I say that I have scripts. By the way, I can send you the script template that I use for my short content. Just give me a message on Instagram and say content, and I can send that over to you. But you want to just think like, how can I solve the problem of my client? How can I solve the problem of my ICP? And just keep making videos around that. Every single video, every day should just be a problem solving thing. Second problem, oh my God, this is the biggest thing on social media right now. Virality is dead. You don't want to be viral. Virality is bad. I've helped people with 100, 200K audiences who can literally not make a single penny of that out of their audience because of the fact that they prioritize viral growth. You want to make ICP specific content where anyone who isn't your ICP would be like, this is pretty boring. Like, I have no interest in listening to this content. So you want to make sure you're making content that speaks to your ICP. Right now, I'm making this content specifically for you as a coach. And if someone who was, I don't know, a footballer, or someone who was, say, even someone in like who's an entrepreneur who's starting a tech company, they would be like, this doesn't apply to me. This is pretty boring. So you want to make ICP specific content. Problem number 24, you're not hitting enough volume. You literally are not making enough content, because the thing about content is we just want to do 2 things. We want to collect as many data points as possible, and then we want to work out what works, and then we want to double down on that. That is all we need to be thinking about. So volume is key for you to start with, and most coaches that I start working with are just not doing enough volume to start with. And then we can exponentially increase, because all we do is we create loads of volume, then we double down on it, and then we create more volume of that, and then we double down on it, and we just keep doing that over and over again. So you need volume to start that process. 25, you wake up every single day and think that you need to make content. That is the number 1 way to burn out and losing consistency. You need content consistency systems. Those systems are going to be the ones like batch making, like having an editor, that allow you to be consistent with content. Because the one thing that I can tell you is, if you post once a day for a year, your life will change. Your business will change. It happened to me. I'm now able to live in Bali with these noisy farmers. And instead, I could have not posted once a day. And everyone I know who has posted once a day has had their life changed. And everyone who hasn't posted once a day falls off. And it's sad to see. Okay, so consistency systems there. Long form assets. That is quite simply 26. You don't post long form content. You don't post YouTube. One YouTube video, maybe 20K, and every single one of my clients who buys from me has watched 2 of my YouTube videos. So you need to create long form YouTube videos in order to build trust, because trust is the name of the game in content. People will not pay you thousands of pounds if they do not trust you. And the best way to get someone to trust you is the long form assets. And that is the system that I put into my clients' businesses, which is the trust building ecosystem. This is my mechanism. This is why I get such amazing client results, because we have nailed the YouTube strategy combined with short form eyeball content. And that is why we get such amazing client results. You can book a call in the description, little plug. But that is the biggest problem, and this is the thing that accelerates all my clients' growth. 27, you make good content sometimes, maybe problem-solving content, valuable content, but it's not entertaining. And if it's not entertaining, then how are people going to sit there watching? Because if I sat here right now and I was just sat in front of my whiteboard and I was just doing this, and I was just like, okay, do this. Or maybe I didn't even have a whiteboard behind me. I was just like, okay, this is problem number one, this is problem number two. Think about how can you make content more exciting. The best people in content combine a fantastic idea with a fantastic bit of entertainment. And that is the best bits of content. So how can you make your content more entertaining? Because a lot of people I know just make value-based content, which is a good start, but it needs to be entertaining. People want to watch, and you want to do this where I jump around and have a whiteboard behind me, then great, because it's more entertaining than me just being like, hi. So 28. Mixed target ICP. One of my clients the other day, he works in getting people into closing and like high ticket closing sales. And he was making videos about what are the like key objections that people have on sales calls and how to deal with them. And I said, if you were your target customer and you were trying to make videos about how to, and you were trying to watch videos about how, or trying to learn how to get into sales, then would you care about objections? Would you even know what objections are? And he was like, probably not. And I said, okay, well, that's perfect. That's the exact reason why you need to not make that video, because you need to make sure with your content that you're clearly just talking to your ICP. I'm talking to you right now as someone who's looking to build, refine, and scale their coaching business, not someone who's looking to take their agency business to 150K a month. I'm talking to someone specific, and you need to make content that talks to a specific human being. Okay, now we get into the fun stuff, the making money. Number 6, funnel design. How the hell are you gonna get people into sales calls if you don't have a well-designed funnel? Your funnel right now, it's probably got 2 problems. It's probably designed poorly, and then we'll take number 30 as well. It's probably also got an incredible amount of friction. So basically with the design, what you want to do is you want to make sure that your funnel is designed in order to make it very easy for someone to basically raise their hand and then enter a sales system with you. So that's about having abilities for people to raise their hand, about having automations like ManyChat so that people are able to move quickly through, and also removing friction. So removing opportunities for people to fall out the pipeline. The biggest one that I found is getting people booked in manually as opposed to getting them to book in with a Calendly link. Okay, rapport building, number 31. So one thing that I think I love, as I said, being human, is that I build rapport on my sales calls. I actually get someone to like me before they want to buy from me. And it's so important to have that because people buy from people. So you want to focus. You're probably right now, like you probably just try to hard sell someone on a call. You probably just like, it feels very much like a sales process. Whereas right now it's lovely to actually just say, oh yeah, like, where are you? What are you up to? Make them laugh. Keep it lighthearted. Rapport building is so important. It's one of the things that I see when I'm reviewing people's sales calls. They just didn't do enough rapport building. 32, you don't take payments on the call. The amount of times in my life I've not taken a payment on a call and someone goes away. 100% of the time, people do not pay once they go away and they don't pay on the call. So very important to make sure you're gathering payments on the call from people. If people leave and they've not paid on call, unless you've got a very clear follow-up booking, then they are not gonna pay. Okay, reps. Basically, the reason that you're not good enough at sales and the reason you're not turning all this into money is because you've not done enough. Take every single opportunity you can, whether it's your mum's friend, whether it's someone else who you've never met before, or someone who's clearly not financially qualified. Just get the reps in. It's like going to the gym. You just need to get better at doing the same thing. And the only way to do that is to do it over and over again. Okay, I hope the noisy farm isn't too loud. I appreciate your attention. Objection skills. So the other thing that you're not doing enough reps of is your objection handling. And I have a ChatGPT prompts that I use that helps me basically objection handle and learn how to objection handle, because people are not going to say yes. It's very unlikely someone's just going to say yes straight away. I've kind of built a system where people do that, but at the start with your coaching, you might find that you might struggle to do objections, and you just basically want to get into the habit of being able to deal with those objections in a very, very easy way. They're literally like scripts, and you want to have that. So that's a big problem that I see. 35, assets. You don't have long form assets to send people before calls. I have a system in my sales calls where people get sent the whole program before they join the sales call, so that when they join the sales calls, they are ready to go and they have no questions. So that's why if you're thinking about joining me, you'll probably join a sales call. You'll be like, yeah, I want to work with this guy, join the sales call, invest, get going, because of this pre-sale asset. It's an absolute genius. I talk about it in my other videos. Okay, service delivery. So you're probably thinking, oh, it's time to click off because he's told me how to get clients. The reason you're not getting clients is because, well, one of the reasons is potentially because your service delivery isn't good enough. Because results get more clients. If you are a business that literally gets no results, you are going to sell a few people in through marketing. But if someone gets no results and they've got no proof of their results, then why would anyone buy into them? So this is the 7 problems that I see that stop coaches like you getting the results that you want. First is you don't value stack. You don't provide enough touch points for people to have their problem solved. So in our community, or in the offer that I have, we have community offerings so people can make friends. We have one-on-one support. We have accountability. We have viral reels templates. We have media hubs. We have scripts for everything. We have live training on certain topics like sales and like content. The list goes on. I could literally name 50 or 20. And each of those values, those features has been value stacked to basically mean that they solve all the problems that my ICP has. So you need to do that with your offer, which is basically thinking, what are all the problems that my ICP has, and how can I create the goddamn best program in the world to solve all those problems? Accountability. People pay very highly, especially in the world of AI right now. They don't want the information. The information is online. They want accountability. The reason you're not getting the results you want and the reason your service delivery isn't good enough is because you're not keeping people accountable. People pay for a program for a reason, and they need to be kept as accountable as possible. So you need to have accountability systems. We have Fathom calls that we turn into to-do lists in people's like trackers that we give them. We have my team that like check up on people and see how they're going with certain tasks. We have incredible accountability systems, and people just struggle to do the work sometimes, and you just need to keep them accountable like a PT would if they're getting their person to go to the gym. Okay. Done for you options. You make it too hard for someone to get the results. You want to do is give as many resources in this value stack that are done for you. So instead, for example, you could, for my offer, I used to just say like, give them links of viral reels. Now I give them plug and play templates that they can literally have in order to scale that offer of theirs. So in order to scale the offer and the content. So that's one of the things which is like done for you. How can you take the effort that someone needs to implement into something away so they can just achieve the outcome? Something like giving people ChatGPT prompts versus just giving them a video guide. Community. I set up my community, and it's the best thing that I've ever done. I didn't realize one of the reasons that people don't want to stick around in your program, they don't get good results, is because they don't feel a sense of community. They don't feel a sense of belonging from basically being a part of the community itself. So I would say massively important in the community is, or in your offer, is to build a community. You might not be at the clients yet right now, but just getting 3 or 4 people in a group chat means that people really feel that stickiness. And at the end of the day, like we're social creatures. We like feeling like we're in a problem with someone else, not just with our mentor. Number 40, I love the fact that I've written this one down. You just need to care about your clients' results more. It comes back to this flywheel that I was talking about, which is good results get more clients get more results get more clients. You just go round and round, and it all starts with caring about your clients' results, not just caring about client hunting, about sales, about content. It's about actually caring that you're having a difference with your clients. And I think that's one of the most important things is like I celebrate my wins, the wins of my clients so hard because of the fact that I care. That comes on to point number 41, which is you need to have an incredible wins mechanism in your community. It needs to be very easy for someone to want to be able to tell you that they've succeeded, because A, it's really important to celebrate wins. It gives people a great feel-good factor. But B, it gives you the social proof. So you want it to be wins focused. You want to create a culture where people are all about winning. It gets them better results. It gets them excited to tell you about better results. And then it gets people who aren't getting the results, who might want to join your program, to then want to join. And that's why we get such amazing results and why I've got such amazing testimonials on my channel. 42, AI. I've spent the whole of the lunchtime just before filming this video talking to 2 people who are coaching about how they can implement AI in their business. You should not be using AI right now, otherwise you're just going to get left behind. AI is an absolute, it's not revolutionary that I'm saying this. ChatGPT prompts, automating systems, automating little to-dos and actions in your business mean you can focus on the more important things. The barley farmers are going absolutely mental on this field, but we're going to finish off with scale, because right now you are probably working incredibly hard, and there are certain systems that even where you are right now, you need to use in order to scale and focus on the important things like generating revenue for you. So The first problem that I see that coaches have is that they have control issues. They do not want to let go of some of their processes in their coaching, and that, in the end of the day, is holding them back. So control issues you need to get over, because people aren't going to do the task as well as you if you employ them or if you use AI to do it. But the difference that it saves you in time is the real magic here, because that means you can focus on making amazing long form assets. You can focus on getting great at your funnel design. You can focus on getting great results, not having to do manual tasks. And that's where 44 and 45 come in, because the first hires that I would make, even if you're at less than 5K a month, but definitely if you're at 10K a month, is VAs and editors. You should not be doing personal tasks like posting videos yourself. You should not be doing admin tasks with your community, and you should not be editing your own video. You should always be thinking, what does someone who's making 30K a month do, and how can I replicate it? And they are definitely not doing personal tasks, and they're definitely not using editors. These two hires have freed up my time so much. Systems and SOPs. You need to have systems in order to do things. So when you onboard a client, you need a system in order to do that. When a client has a problem, you have a system. All of these systems allow the mental strain of fixing things to be taken away from you and allow other people to come in and do them for you as well. And that comes on to point number 47, which is I started making my bed about a year ago. And ever since I did that, my business exploded because of the fact, not a year ago, my business exploded, but ever since I started doing that, my personal life got better and I was more organized. And when you are not organized, it is impossible to run a business, because you need to be keeping track of data. You need to be making SOPs, having systems. You need to be organized in terms of your meetings. Organization, missing meetings is one of the biggest reasons why I see people getting bad results, bad sales, poorly built out offers. Organization, so key. 48, authority. When you hire people or when you're working with your clients, you need to maintain authority, and you need to be an amazing leader. You need to keep pushing your limits so that you are able to be an authority figure to your clients. No one wants to be coached by a PT that they see eating awful food the whole time and getting fat, because all of a sudden you lose your authority. And I believe that my authority as a leader is not only by testing out all these amazing things for my clients, but also being proof of concept that I work incredibly hard and I embody all of these, especially these mindsets. 49, offer change. With scale, you have to accept that sometimes your offer might change. You might have to add in new things. You might have to drop prices and give new offers for drop prices. You might have to increase prices. But I see a lot of people, when they're scaling, they're making good money doing something else, and it's time to bring in different revenue streams. And that is one problem that I see, which is keeping people plateaued because they don't basically change their offer. Don't get confused between that and changing and having one offer here. Right now, you don't need to worry about it, but offer change is super important as well. Thanks for listening. If you want to work with me, you know where the link is in the description. I've plugged it enough. We get unbelievable results. We get market crazy results, and we have a lot of fun doing it as well. So thanks very much for your time. Speak soon.